I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about.
Hey everyone, it's Simplicity and welcome back to a new video. This is very different from how I normally do things, but I had originally planned to have a face cam for this video, but I have officially ran out of eyeliner, so not going with the face cam today because eyeliner is my thing, and I don't know, I feel like I can't do face cam without it. But I was scrolling through Tumblr the other day and came across somebody that reblogged a post that was about this mod here. So we may know the creator here, Lirelai. They are the ones that made the functional sheep mod. And it looks like they have a few other ones. But they were posting this one here about interest in hobbies. And I feel like this could kind of be interesting to some people. So here we have the interest in hobby mod. This is just a progress log. So it says, hey everyone, hopefully things are going well with you all. Today I figured off a show up what I've been working on. It's all themed about the environment interest, which, as I mentioned in a previous post, it's the first interest I'll be working on. So I didn't see the actual post. That was like the initial one. Maybe I missed it. Because like this one here is progress number 2. Let's see. See if I can find it. A progress log, updated sheep, progress log. I'm guessing it's this one here. Maybe. This might be it. Because it looks like it says prototype. And there's like an ideas thread. So I'm going to say it's probably this one that I missed. Okay. So let's start off here. So this again is still a little bit of progress. So it doesn't look like I found the first initial one. But it says you may have looked through a previous post where I go to the documentation of what the interest in hobbies mod will look like and what it is. Currently I've got a super raw prototype, which is far from what it will look like in release date. Sims each have the interest points so they get double the amount of the townies with a particular set of traits. And in case of famous Sims, I'm adding a bit of extra to them. So it seems like environment interest was the first one that she was working on. And that they get to test it if you're a Patreon, which I'm not. But tempting. I'm not going to lie. This is kind of tempting. So anyways, if we go ahead and hop in here. So it's the Towny Interest Manager General. The Towny Interest Manager is a helper for pre-mades living in town. It gives them random interests when you first load the world of this mod. Some pre-mades are remakes from The Sims 2. I figured it'd be cool to make sure that those Sims are somewhat true to the Sims 2 interests. And so those Sims now have interests that work with their interests from Sims 2. All of these pre-mades have dislikes and passionate or neutral even that are true to them. So they have hobbies and interests that they're going to like and dislike and ones that they are neutral about. So 0 is absolutely disliking the interest, 20 is absolutely loving, 10 is neutral. So we have some pictures. Let's take a look. So it looks like we have animals, crime, culture, entertainment, environment, fashion, food, health, money, paranormal, politics, sci-fi, work, and toys. So there seems to be like a fair amount. I was going to say, where did that first one go? Okay, so there's some other ones. So for pre-mades, these interests can be tweaked to your own personal liking, basing them mostly off of traits and skills. Currently, this is still a huge work in progress, and currently I'm testing it with in-game objects, but I want to try it with other mods and my own items that I'll make for this mod, so there is a documentation on the Google Docs. I'm still expanding the autonomy for this, of course, but currently I'm implementing the autonomy for Sims to go to hobby lots or community lots that have their hobbies on it, that they can also choose to do at home. So how does this work exactly? Well, in the picture above, you might have seen a hobby lot and none, which looks different with an actual lot, though. Here's a progress in an image format. So you can go ahead and add a hobby type to lot, and you get to pick it. That's kind of cool. Of course, you can change or remove it. I do have to make the removing part a bit clearer, though. For now, you can choose none for that to work. Not so practical, really. From there, there's a 50% chance the sim will decide to visit that lot or rather do their hobbies at home. Since entertainment currently does literally nothing, I'll demonstrate it with environment. For these sims, they need a gardening skill higher than at least 1, and there needs to be at least some plants on the lot. Story progression seems to be helpful here, as it does skill sims up automatically depending on their traits. This doesn't affect any household you're currently playing with. There's families that you're currently not playing with. I'll make sure that there's an on-off switch for families. So here's some sims doing some gardening. So we have Jocasta and Gobias. Here I turned the library into a hobby lot for the environment, and so Judy decided to visit it. So it seems like they can actually go to other people's gardens as well, which is kind of funny. But it says that no longer is the case, so that was like a little bit of a bug. What else do we have? If you're playing your family and you're maybe following them driving to work, you'll actually see your neighbors doing stuff. Your neighbors will actually scale up the skills they need for their lifetime wish, or just a storyline in general. The gardener, you can see what the stock is. This is good if your sim is a chef. All you have to do is check the stack of whatever you need to get. Is the best quality, buy that and make the perfect dish. You can also research an interest. So something for your own sims. Now, because of the comments I've seen on how people play their games, I figured this is the best way to proceed. Gatekeeping the interests. What exactly do I mean by that? Well, if your sim is neutral in interest, so 10 points, they have to study said interest they want to participate in. That way, it's also less annoying when your sim is gardening, for example, that the interest mark keeps bugging you to keep selecting a hobby. Either on the phone or computer, you can go to Leela's Interests and Hobbies, Research X Interest, so you get to pick. So there's animals, money, health, research, fashion, environment, and criminal. So you can see here that there is a research and health 16%, which is kind of cool. Depending on what you're researching, your sim will show bubbles on what they're researching. So if you ever forget, just click check on like the thought bubbles. Speeding up progress is like letting a novel progress. However, I coded mine in such a way that it's keeping in mind that sims are reading things rather than writing. So bookworms and sims who read over 50 books, so if both you're extra lucky, will research things quicker by 10%. Neurotic sims, on the other hand, that's negative 5% of the overall speed, and since they really want to know the nitpicky details on how, what, why, where, etc. So we have some people, talking down here like around the sims. Okay, so that's actually kind of cool. I'm not going to look through the Google Doc, but I will have a link to both of these Patreon posts down below. So now this is another little bit of a progress log. This one was from October, and I don't think there's been an update since. Again, I'll just go through this and we'll go through Leela's page again. So we have visually seeing a sim's interest score. I wish I could have added this to the relationship panel, but that would mean this mod would be a core mod just for this UI piece. So I decided the best approach would be to click on any sim and showing what interest your sim has or showing what interest your sim has discovered. It's a bit easier to find out than the trait discovery of another sim. So on her to-do list is adding actual score numbers or percentages into the passionate and dislike, adding a button that shows the hobbies linked and how far your sims into that hobby, novice, intermediate, master, cleaning up the UI a little so that there's not as much space from the top and the text is not 100% centered, and adding icons for each interest and adding the name of sims whose interest you're currently checking out. So that'd be kind of cool. So 2, debate about. A social interaction. If your sim loves the interest and has finished the research, which means your sim has 11 points into said interest. Oh, okay, so you can, that's kind of cool, like gain points. Then your sim can debate the interest with others. It works the same way as discovering a trait of another sim. They can find out if the sim loves or hates that interest and show the animation according to that. They also leave a notification. Another cool thing is if you find any sims that are compatible with the interest and your own sim has a passionate score of under 13, 20 is still the max, they can get skill points to higher their passionate score. If a sim does know that another sim loves said interest, we'll be talking and nothing interesting will happen. There's a 25% chance that they can convince sim at least to try the interest, and you'll be given a passionate score into that interest. This will only work if the sim is between 10 and 13. So we have 2 compatible interest sims. So let me just, open this up. I just learned that Mortimer absolutely loves the environment interest. We should hang out more and share more on our mutual interest. So that's kind of cool that you can have like a mutual interest and everything. And then we have the 2 incompatible, which, is Gunther and Cornelia. It says that they ported the preset interest in The Sims 2, so they have a lot of conflicting interests. And then, so if I click on these two, instead of me zooming in, because this is easier, I just learned that Gunther absolutely hates the environment interest, probably for the best if I stop talking about it. Okay. And then, when successfully convincing a sim to try an interest success, I've convinced Gunther that the entertainment interest is really cool. Hopefully that introduces them to a great hobby to get into. It shows a little pie menu. And then it looks like we have the Lantabout, which I believe, does that originally come with the university, I believe? So while talking and debating about an interest your sim is passionate about, it's cool and all, sometimes a sim just needs to rant about that one interest they absolutely hate and maybe the entire town is into. Fun fact, most of the Sunset Valley Sims are super into the environment because of their traits, or the Sims 2 interest is Sims 3, except for Agnes. I guess she was destined to also grump about people's interests rather than just love. Learned about animations are pretty much just a complaint about animations. However, as you might have guessed, if two Sims has that interest, they'll show you and express happiness of finding another Sim who hates it. If a Sims loves it, they'll let you know they don't appreciate the rant. So it shows Bella and Mortimer talking about sports. Convinced to pursue. That looks like it might be Morgana Wolf. But if that 25% success rate is not working on a sim you absolutely want to go into that interest, or because they happen to be exceeding over that 9 or lower, or 13 or higher score, this is a great workaround. If your sim is a master in at least one hobby and they're 100% passionate about that interest, then they might have a chance of getting that sim actually interested in trying. Of course, this comes with the success score, which is depending on the following stats. Compatible traits with the interest. If incompatible, then it will subtract points from the final score, the relationship score, and any skills that might have been a fit with the interest type. No worries about the chance of someone having to calculate all this for yourself in a spreadsheet. The interaction will show how much of a chance your sim has. So that's kind of cool. So it does show those percentages, so here it has like the success rate. Part of researching an interest is reading. Unfortunately, I'm still looking for a way to get them to work properly in the bookstore, but for now your sim can look for them in the library. The very first time your sim finishes it, they'll be getting an interest point. After that, it's a point 10 per reading, also tunable. So it's possible to use it as a skill book, basically, not just the main element of participating in an interest. Each interest only has one book. Then we have magazines. So you might remember that from The Sims 2 that each hobby has a magazine you can get. However, that it can be purchased in a magazine rack or being phoned up for a subscription. However, I felt it was more suitable for it being a phone interaction or through a computer. Plus, it's just more or less a nowadays thing. I was thinking of making magazines you get per week accessible to read on your phone or computer, but that has yet to be implemented. So kind of maybe like the book club for the bookworm Sims, maybe? So each interest has a magazine that you can subscribe to. The magazine will get randomly generated title. Now, it may happen that issue 44 has the same title as issue number 3. If you have a magazine subscription, you may have noticed that magazine companies have a tendency to reuse or recycle already written articles and sections in newer magazines whenever they seem fit. I haven't read a magazine in, oh goodness, probably a decade. So I wouldn't know. You can purchase any magazine interest you've been actively researching, and after that, the computer lets you know the details. So it does give you a little bit of a pop-up thing so you can unsubscribe as well. And in case you're scared that you're not sure which magazines you have a subscription with and what new interest you can get it for, so it does tell you whenever you click on that, which is kind of cool. The interaction gets grayed out. Then you wait till Tuesday to find your magazines, and that she's working on a different cover for each interest. Or she's going to use Sims 2's, but currently the comic covers. Oh, this seems like it's really cool. I'm excited. But now I want to see if I can find a post where like she first started discussing it, because like there's an ideas thread, but I can't see it because I'm not a Patreon subscriber. Okay. Journaling mod I already have, so it's got to be up here. Head replacement, sewing table. Okay, so I'm guessing this is where it started. Was the ideas thread. Alright. So that's my guess. So maybe I will have to go and take a look at that Google Doc. I apologize if you're able to hear the wind. It's a little bit windy here today for some reason. Where was like that? Okay. So this was last updated. It looks like it was updated in August. So I'm not going to go, oh my goodness. Okay, this is like a really long document. So it's still going. So there's over 50 pages. There is 50 pages here. So it looks like it's based off of Sims 2 and Sims 1. I'm not going to go fully through this. So basic of the interests. Trait penalties or reward buffs. Certain traits can make it harder to gain or lose points. Linking hobbies together with interests. Growing your hobby to advance into an advanced to a master. So, for example, off the grid, you need the following skills to be high level of fishing, gardening, collecting, and inventing. Tutoring Sims and hobbies, convincing Sims to pursue hobbies. But yeah, I'm not going to go like fully through this. Local markets. All types that can be unlocked later on. Farm market stand, food market stand, secondhand market stand, flower, plant market stand, instruments, painting, clothing, toys, creepy paranormal, sports, other, which you can combine types together. Every Thursday and Sunday from 7 to 4, you'll be able to go to the market. It'll give you a pop-up. This is actually really cool. Okay, research of an interest, we've already went over. Compiled list of interactions. So it does give me some little bit ones here. So environment, you can install solar panels, debate climate change, consider vegetarianism, read up on the environment, collect rainwater, functional laundry washer, worry about the environment, donate to a good cause, consider becoming a part of a different energy company, take the bike over car. If you have a fashion interest, you can buy vintage clothes and second-hand clothes. Choose to use recycling bin more, plant trees on several locations, reducing carbon footprint, accuse Sims of contaminating / not taking care of the environment, compost trash, grow own garden, refill cup for beverages, like a refillable bottle, renewable energy, starting a herb garden, choose public transit. Food, you get a buff and moodlet after visiting restaurant points. Food at random restaurants interaction. Train dog to find truffles if you have the animal interest. Weekly food boxes. Ordering fresh ingredients. To a restaurant kitchen. Signature dish. You can start a herb garden if you also have the environment. Brewing skill, which might be in part 2 hobbies. That'd be kind of cool. Spice up food with chosen items, nectar tasting, writing a cookbook, practice latte art, food contest, keeping a food aquarium, buy from the local market, reintroduce the chocolate machine. Weather was merged as sci-fi, so I'm going to go ahead and, just kind of go past that. So you can get a few little buffs depending if you have hobbies with art and traveling for culture. So making, viewing photo album, browse art, draw this 3D sculpture, read about art, join a best painter of X neighborhood race, book clubs, drama-related items for the theater, nag about clothing choice for fashion, compliment Sims clothing choice. I talked about the environment one. Start a fashion blog, design your own outfits, give Sims clothing tips, start your own clothing brand. Oh, that'd be fun. That could kind of go similarly with the sewing table, which is another one of her mods, which is funny because she actually mentions that. Money, check the stock markets, invest into crypto, donate to the government and public community, give financial advice, own piggy banks or Joes to put savings in, financial advice, budgeting sheet for politics, get people involved for protests, talk about politics, volunteer at rabbit holes, send money to favorite political party, convince Sims to donate favorite political party, discuss current political issues, start campaign. Paranormal, find and talk with mediums online, use a Ouija board to communicate with ghosts, trying to figure out what skill an occult is, trying to find whether they're spiritually gifted or not, Gems will give them boosts and might help interactions to heal Sims. Witches will automatically get a birthstone of the Zodiac. I love that. Big fan of that one. Okay. And then put on aluminum hats, host UFO parties, hunt for UFOs. Haunted objects give you the ability to phone up the ghost hunters. Supernaturals can host SuperCon, trying to feel the room for paranormal energy. So for health, you can go for checkups, research and make their own medicine, smoothies, medical advice, nonsense medical advice. Eating unhealthy gives Sims a negative buff. Medical journals, doctors for advice will want to go do fitness regularly. Crime, you can steal all the things. Want to talk to the police whether everything is going well. Find out who is suspicious. You can find evidence at their homes, like a freelance detective. Report suspicious Sim to police. Bribe the police for not arresting them. Donate money to a police or criminal organization. Hack the stocks. Figure out how the business is going. Sports, we have a smartwatch. Favorite team that you can set manually, but that's kind of cool. Discuss favorite player. Motivate people to participate in sports. Ask to see a game. Read sports news, show off muscles to Sims in the mirror. That's kind of funny. Buy an at-home exercising treatment, helps them increase the interest. You have another mod that you can use as well. Do not push-ups at random places. Kind of reminds me of Sims 4, even though it says that it's not going to be like Sims 4. Exercise clubs, host a game party. Entertainment, we have getting subscriptions to movies at home, kind of like Netflix. Browse the internet about their favorite characters in movies, join a cinema movie group, host a film marathon party, write a screenplay, write film reviews. There's a Sim Song Festival. Animals, you can show keep videos of animals, bird watching, consider vegetarianism. Seems like it's sort of like brooding by the looks of it. The Sims life could give them the vegetarian treat. Secret penguins popping up. Kind of reminds me of Sims 2. You can adopt a penguin if the penguin feels that your friendship's high enough. I want a penguin. Are you kidding me? Yes, I want a penguin. Feed the pigeons. You can sit on a park bench, click on the ground, and feed the pigeons. Maintain a fish tank for breeding. Pet club. Volunteer at the local... I can't pronounce that. I'm assuming it's kind of like an animal shelter. Teach your fish tricks. Jump, follow finger, be petted, jump through finger hoop. Hold a pet warming party, and you can register yourself as an animal sitter. From there, you can choose which animals the Sim accepts to sit and how many they take on. Make sure not to kill the fish. She'll let you know when they're hungry. This is an active career, so keep that in mind. Okay, I'm obsessed with that. I love that idea. Toys, host a LAN party, practice role-playing, game club, play a video game or voice calling, practice doll dressing and making, converting void critters, a Sims version of Pokemon, which is from Sims 4. Sci-fi, you can research rockets, robots, and AI, host UFO parties, put on aluminum hats. I feel like I kind of went over some of this stuff already. Look at conspiracy theories about aliens, which I believe is also a Sims 4 interaction. Analyze rocks and gems, and participate in local cosplay events. So then there's also a list of each interest that has negative points at the start. So I'm not going to fully go through all of this, but you can if you want, because I will have links. So it does tell you some hobbies. So environment is climate change, nature, and off the grid. Food, doing it all chef, with whether it's a vegetarian or not vegetarian. Foodie and drinks for all. Culture, artistic to the core, all-around musician. Dance, the Nathan Drake of Sims, loving the cultures. Fashion, the stylist influencer, brand designer, clothing designer. Money is the salesman and financial advisor. Politics is the activist, the campaigner, or the rebel. Paranormal is I want to believe, the medium, and the witch. Health is the sexy doctor, healthy all the way, medicine researcher. Crime, you can be either a freelance villain or a freelance hero. Sports, we have professional couch potato and gym nut. Environment is the TV enthusiast and the blogger. Animals, we have the great horse trainer, flying with the birds, the dog person. Okay, and then we have the cat person and the fish person. And then it tells you kind of, the basics. And then we have Toys and Sci-Fi, which is yet to be figured out. But I think this is going to be a really cool mod. I will leave the links to the Patreon and down below. I was going to say the Google Doc, but it's linked in the Patreon. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up here. Let me know what you think about this mod, because I think it's going to be a really exciting one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of the update posts and taking a look at everything and like whenever it's actually out. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, you can go ahead and hit the like button down below. If you want to see some more videos from me, you can subscribe. I'm posting videos every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of December. And if you're already subscribed or want notifications when I post, go ahead and hit that bell and make sure your YouTube notifications are turned on. And I will see you all in my very next video. Bye, lovelies.
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?